delete, delete, replace, enhance. That's right, folks. It's time for another live editing showdown with the one, the only, the cutteriest of slicers, Ellen the Cutter Campbell.
Woohoo!
Our brave audience members have offered up their very own writing to the chopping block. So prepare yourselves, because when the Fates get their hands on a manuscript, there are no safe words. Ellen the Cutter Campbell, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I was reading comments over here. Hi, Willow. Thank you for having me back.
We're so excited to be back. I'm hailing you live from Vermont in a cabin. And we've got Ellen, you are literary today.
Literary outlaw.
Literary outlaw.
That's me.
And I am frazzled because I keep forgetting things that I have not put back on my desktop. And now I'm in this weird laptop situation.
It's been a day, folks. It's been a week, but we are really glad to join you all today. And to join in the chat, we've got Bard of today, Patricia Gillum, Rick Partlow, who is not first today. That was Patricia. So,
hey, Rick.
Yeah, hi. And very special guest, Willow. Willow Williams is here. Hi. Who else?
He loves the shout-outs.
Don't forget Corey, because we're going to do him first.
Oh, Corey, you are up first. So, let's go.
Are we just to jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in. Do it.
Okay. I'm going to everybody close your eyes, because this is the part where you get sick.
the never-ending.
Oh, you read.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to start reading while she gets her share screen up so y'all can see what's going on. All right. I stared down the barrel of the gun, but I didn't care. I was still fuming over the argument with my uncle. His arrogant and condescending attitude had driven all concerns of self-preservation from me. I said, "Who are you? What are you doing on my bridge?" I strode towards the woman as the words came out in a slow staccato. She gave a yelp of surprise and squeezed the trigger. I heard a shrill, mechanical release of compressed air. I looked down to see a 4.5-meter brass barrel dart embedded in my left thigh. It pissed me off more than it shocked me. I didn't feel any pain from the injury. I reached down and jerked the thing from my leg and flung it across the bridge in her direction. The fact the dart had pierced my thigh bone didn't register. The metal dart hit the wall with a metallic clang and ricocheted across the floor towards the aft of the ship. You are starting to piss me off, lady. Answer my questions now, or I will contact the authorities and have you arrested for trespassing, assault, and theft. I reached over to the back of the closest seat and rotated up the console. Gwen, patch us into the local communications network. Inform me when you are ready. Yes, Captain. It's an AI. Yes, Captain, the AI said. You don't want to do that, the woman said in a calm, almost authoritative voice. She continued to point the gun in my direction. Standing slightly over 1.5 meters tall, with curly hair draped down her shoulders, there wasn't anything threatening about her. She held the stance of someone who never held a firearm before. The way she held it, half rotated to the side and in one hand, shouted inexperience. Her one-handed grip also indicated it might not be in her dominant hand, just the hand holding it at the time she decided to use it. She seemed restless, fidgety, and continuously moving. She gave the impression of a nervous cat trapped in a corner. Her hand started shaking, and the steadiness of her aim wavered. I'm gonna pause really quick. Can you make your
yes, sorry.
Gigantic? I just noticed that it was tiny on my side.
Is that good?
Oh yeah, much better. All right. I don't know who is speaking this next line, so I'm gonna do a neutral voice. This should be interesting. Tell me why I don't. I need you to take me to my home planet. No, that is not how it works. If you want to book passage, you approach us, and you state your request. If we are able to accommodate you, we discuss price. But nowhere in the process do you board the ship uninvited, shoot the captain, then order him to do something. Nevertheless, if you want passage, we can start the negotiation process the correct way. Warning, there will be an extra fee for damage done to my leg and pissing me off. But none of it will happen until after you are off my ship. You have to take me there. She put more steel behind her command. I noticed the strain of her efforts and the way the barrel gun moved around. You will do it now. She motioned the gun towards the helm. Lady, I don't have to do anything but protect my crew. That includes throwing you off my ship. I am to the point where I don't feel inclined to waiting for the authorities to arrive. I'll do it myself. Your exodus can happen at one of the parts down below or from the roof. Doesn't matter to me. She took a couple small steps away from me. The dart. She tried to sound stoic and waved the gun in the general direction of where she'd shot me. What about it? It was poisoned, she blurted out. A rare poison. It's from my homeworld, and is the only place to get the antidote. Fine. The roof it is. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to go over stuff you've done?
It's supposed to be 500 words, so that's about 500 right there.
Hmm.
Yeah, let me...
Okay.
630!
Okay. All right, Corey, here we go. Okay, I stared down the barrel of the gun, but I didn't care. Is good. I probably wouldn't change that. I was still fuming over the argument with my uncle. Is good. His arrogant and condescending attitude had driven all concerns of self-preservation from me. Okay, that's a little bit clumsy,
but relatable.
Yeah, it's not bad.
This is a great way to start off a story. Like, we've got action right from the beginning, and we're starting to get like characterization. We're starting to figure out who this main point of view character is, and we've got humor. So yeah. I like it.
Right here's a little tiny technical error. No, it's not. I take that back.
Y'all have no idea how often we're like
on my bridge. I strode towards the woman as the words came out in a slow staccato. Okay, I'm gonna start by deleting it. We can fix that, but it's kind of where. Oh, let's turn the track. Let's turn on the markup. Let's undo that. Turn on the tracking. Turn on the markup. You can see we're very prepared today.
Yeah, I agree with deleting that because, like, as I was reading, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's not at all how I anticipated reading that." You know, yeah. I would show that in the way that you format the wording. Like, you'd literally make it staccato in the way you format it or punctuate it. There we go. There's the words.
And you wouldn't put as the words came out in a slow staccato. I kind of get what you're getting at, but if you think it through, that doesn't actually work. Even if you fix it and say in a slow staccato, I said, "Who are you and what are you doing on my bridge?" It's going to make somebody stop and think, and that's what we're trying to avoid, is making them stop and think. We want them to keep going. Okay, so you could say, "I took a threatening step towards her," or something like that. I'll just throw that in there. Toward.
I wish there was a way we could do
I wish I could touch type
images for our podcast listeners. It'd be like screenshots for them.
Ellen's typoing across the screen. You could just narrate that. Ellen's got 3 typos into this sentence.
We can invite you onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Where
this
you can see me looking like a ghost today, and everyone's just got awesome lighting.
It's glorious.
How some days roll.
I had to quickly throw this up so no one could see my current works in progress.
Don't slide over there and look at what you guys are doing, because it makes everybody dizzy. Okay. Moving on, she gave a yelp of surprise. That's excellent. Excellent, excellent. And squeeze the trigger. I mean, it doesn't make me want to hurt anybody. It doesn't. It says exactly what you're trying to say. I heard until you define it, it's not. And except for it's backwards in this case. I heard the shrill mechanical release. It's not really shrill. Well,
that's something I'm just like, well, I would have to look up.
It's more of
no, it's not shrill. It's more of a hiss.
Yeah. Or
I heard the
Puff?
It's not shrill.
No.
Is where it's throwing me, and it's not really mechanical. I heard what's the word I want? Help me out.
Puff?
I was trying to think.
I heard the sharp hiss.
So I heard the sharp. Yeah, sharp. Well, I mean, is it like, yeah, the way Lauren was saying, I suppose that'd be sharp hiss.
It is when you're with a compressor, when you release air from a compressor.
We could do.
Like at the tire shop.
Oh yeah.
It's air under pressure. So what do we think?
Let's see. I heard the
Hiss?
You just take everything
I
out.
almost want to say quick, but I've been deleting so many quick and quicklies out of this one manuscript that I don't want to say that.
Okay, how about sharp?
Yeah, because it's something that's like, it's but I don't want to say quick.
I look down to see a 4.5 centimeter. I would take out brass barrel. Just because I can't picture that. 4.5 centimeter dart embedded in my left thigh. It pissed me off more than it hurt. I would say hurt me. Because why would he be surprised? Because she's waving a gun at him.
Yeah, and he's already heard it, so.
Mm-hmm.
Feel any pain?
Oh my
I would
God.
take
Can
off
you guys
from
hear
the
me?
injury because it's not really an injury per se. He just got stuck with a pin. I reached down and jerked the thing from my leg and flung it across the bridge in her direction. It's good. The fact that the dart, thigh bone, ow,
Yeah.
ow.
Now we get the ow. His thigh bone got pierced. Ouch.
Yeah, I could see where that would hurt. And
Rick Partlow was saying, I can't click on it because I'm on the wrong computer. He was saying pneumatic.
Thank you, Rick.
Rick Partlow, get a clap. Clap
Hey,
of appreciation. Oddly specific about dart length, and he can't see the full length from Kit.
Yeah, well, he can't see it when it's buried in his leg. Okay, the metal dart hit the wall with a metallic clang. Okay, I was gonna rip this. I was gonna take this out because clang. I took issue with clang, but you've made it a heavy dart.
You don't need metallic. Clang can.
Well,
clang
no,
implies metallic.
it's emphasizing that it's not a regular dart. It's a heavy duty dart that touches
Yeah,
your bone.
but we already have metal in the sentence.
Let me see. Yeah, the dart. We take out metal. The dart hit the wall with a metallic clang.
Yeah, that's smoother.
And I wouldn't say ricocheted, but you can. I mean, that's kind of a personal preference for me, I think. Towards
Ricocheted across the floor.
Yeah, just across the floor.
Towards the after the ship is something that I would double check with a Navy guy, and since I can't do that, and it's not really that relevant which way it went, unless I'm missing something that's coming up.
Yeah, what I liked about that phrase is that it tells me genre of the story, but the reader should know that this is science fiction before they started reading it, when they looked at the cover and bought it and stuff.
Right. Would you say the aft of the ship? Somebody get Ken.
I don't think you need it. I don't think the story needs it.
But I mean, is that phrasing correct, or is it? That's what I'm talking about.
Ken, Rick, someone in chat. Redditors. We often have friends who are in the Navy that we can Facebook message questions like this, because these details do matter and readers will pick up on it.
Or I'll throw some contractions in here, because nobody that's mad and yelling at somebody that just shot him with a dart is saying, I will. Contact the authorities and have you arrested for trespassing, assault, and theft. Go ahead and patch us into the local communications network. Inform me when you're ready. Another contraction. In this particular case right there, that's a capital C and a comma. And this captain, the ship's AI said.
And that's a common thing that a lot of people do. It's going in, yes, Captain, you want that comma, because the next part isn't like a sentence all on its own. It's completing the sentence within the quotes.
And there's a handout on that in the notes. Not it. Well, I'll give it to Kayleen for the show notes, but it's also in the group notes for about punctuating dialogue. You don't want to do that.
And Britt says stern is the after portion of the ship.
Thank you.
If it's a direction, it's aft.
Thank you, Rick. See?
Now we know.
I knew it was wrong. I just
The
knew.
more you know.
In a calm, almost authoritative voice. Okay, but your dialogue is punctuated. See, you want to make a complete sentence. All of this has to be one sentence. If that makes any sense. You don't want to do that. The woman said is a complete sentence. You don't want to do that. Isn't the complete sentence. The sentence ends with the tag. Or the beat. This is a beat. Or that's a tag. Excuse me, it's a tag. Okay, this I would delete.
She continued to point the gun in my direction.
Yeah, that's a common thing. It's like we already know this is happening. You don't have to keep reminding us.
Right.
Like we have it in our head. She's pointing this thing, and he's like being all macho.
Okay,
So what we're looking for, guys, is if the story needs it, then leave it. Otherwise, cut it. Yeah. Cut the fluff.
But if you want to drive that point home, what you can do is, let's see, except for the gun.
And
then you can take out standing, which I hate, with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Oh,
standing, watching, looking.
Except for the gun. There wasn't anything threatening about her.
I like that.
There wasn't anything threatening about her. Throw in an M dash here. Slightly over 1.5 meters tall, with curly hair down to her shoulders.
Mr. Popchuk Manley says, story lip suction. Love it.
Okay, and you wouldn't say held the stance of someone. You would say her stance was, or she had the stance. You wouldn't say held the stance. In this case, I mean, there are cases, I guess, where you could say it, but it doesn't really work right here. Had the stance of someone who'd held a firearm before. That's the way she held it. Okay, let's see. I've rotated to the side and shouted. I would say something more than inexperience. Inexperience works, but what's something a little more ignorance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What part around the...
But
when she held it half rotated to the side in one hand, shouted inexperience.
Yeah, I just took that comma out. Effort to the side in one hand. I frequently do that. Yeah. The one-handed grip also indicated. Okay. Her one-handed grip indicated it might not be her dominant hand. In what way? I would flag this. How did her one-handed grip indicate that? Because if you were going to hold it in a one-handed grip, you probably would hold it in your dominant hand. That would be
true.
So I would flag that.
Call it confusing, or
yeah, I would say indicated.
Corey Gilliam says holding it gangster style.
Yeah,
but how does that indicate it's not her dominant hand? Indicated how, and then I might fill it in with some of the stuff that we just talked about. If you were,
her one-handed grip indicated she had no idea what she's doing, none at all. She'd never fired a gun before.
So that was a lucky shot, planting it in his thigh.
Because it might smack her in the face when she tried. Although this is the future, right? So maybe guns are different and they don't have the same kind of kick.
I think a heavy darted one would have some kind of big kick to it.
Maybe they figured that out in the future.
It's true.
And you made me cringe with that bone thing, Corey.
The phone thing?
The bone thing.
Oh, the bone. Yes. The thigh bone. Ah.
It reads good though. I kind of like just the hand holding it at the time she decided to use it. But I just still think that your instinct would be to throw it in your dominant hand. Okay, she seemed restless, fidgety, and continuously moving. I hate the word seemed, but I'm going to let you have it right there.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Okay, but see, we're starting with she. We don't want to do that. She had the stance. The way she held it. She seemed, she gave her hand. Okay, so let's shake this up a little bit. Restless, fidgety, and continuously moving.
Like a nervous
She
cat.
gave the impression of a nervous cat trapped in a corner. That actually reads a lot smoother.
Her hand started shaking, and the steadiness of her aim wavered. See, if it was in her non-dominant hand, it would already be wavering.
Yeah.
And you don't say the steadiness of, just say, and her aim.
Yeah. Wavered.
Okay. This should be interesting. Tell me why I don't.
So
Okay, see, what happened here is you don't want to do that, the woman said. And then we went through all this description, and now we had to go back and figure out who was saying this.
yeah, which is why I'm like, I have no idea who's saying this line.
Right.
So that would be where you know, if you're not going to have his response sooner, like right after she says that, and then it's like he's looking at her, you're definitely going to need the captain said.
Yeah, that's a choice that you have to make early on. Like, are you going to break up the dialogue with description? Because if you do, you might lose your reader and they might forget what was just said. So then it's a question of where do you put the description so it makes the most sense to the reader.
Yeah, and like Ellen's doing, she's just taking the "you don't want to do that," the woman said in a calm, almost authoritative voice, after the description of her, so that it comes after the description comes after the AI, which is kind of like a throwaway, and then we won't get lost in who's speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to take me to my home planet. No, that's not how it works. You want to look passage. You. Any state request. If we're able to accommodate you.
Yeah, authors start using more contractions.
Well, yeah. And use them right. Use the right
Particularly in
word.
dialogue.
Especially in dialogue.
Yes.
But nowhere in the process, you board the ship uninvited. That can go either way, so I'm going to let you have it. Shoot the captain, then order him to do something.
You have discuss instead of discuss.
Nevertheless, if you want passage, we can start the negotiation process. Okay. Correct is unwieldy. Here. Boy, I got double fingers today.
And Kit's asking, she's fidgety, but her voice is calm. So with something like this, I've actually personally experienced it being really fidgety, but I'm able to at least keep the tone of my voice straight. So it does work. It's possible. Like all of her focus is really going into trying to sound and be authoritative, but like her body is denying, or not denying. What's the word I'm looking for? Contradicting that.
Belying.
Yeah.
Belying the truth of what's actually going on. But yeah, editors, if you weren't sure, you could always throw a note on that and then let the author decide what they want to do.
Or damage to my leg and pissing me off. Okay, I just changed. We can start the negotiation process the correct way to the right way, just because it's easier to read, it's easier to hear in your head, and you don't trip over it. Warning, there's going to be an extra charge for damage done to my leg and pissing me off. But none of it will happen until after you're off my ship. Okay. Okay. None of it will happen until after. Okay. So, okay. I understand. I got it. It took me a minute. He wants her to get off and start over. Yeah?
Yeah. It's like, lose the gun. Come up here properly.
You have to take me.
Hey, Ellen, Rick says he does use contractions. They're just only 2 minutes apart.
They're just what?
His contractions are only 2 minutes apart.
I'm going to punch you in Vegas. Okay, she put more steel in her voice because that's not a command. You have to take me is not a command.
Yeah, it's
Maybe you will take me or
Notice
something.
the strain of her efforts in the way the barrel gun moved around. Okay, I noticed the strain of her efforts. This efforts is a word that I don't, all of a sudden everybody's picked it up and everything is all about efforts and capabilities. And I don't understand why this is
Can we rewrite that sentence without the filtering
yeah,
that I noticed?
yeah.
she put more steel in her voice.
Her grip tightened.
I don't know. Like, I'm almost inclined just to delete it.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much description already on
The gun clutching.
what she's doing with this gun and how
Yeah.
it's moving and how she's holding it. And just like it's repeating in a different way stuff that's already been put into detail. So that's something that I would delete, highlight, and tell them why.
Oh, and
That-
this
for me, that's
emphasizes
why.
the way we have it now with that sentence out. It kind of emphasizes what's going on with her voice.
Yes.
Which
You
is
have to
which
take
is the
me.
current, yeah.
She put more steel in her voice. You will do it now.
Right,
Do
just
it now. Ooh, even better.
Yeah. So now you're putting focus where focus needs to be,
Do it.
because we don't need any more detail of that gun at this point. It's she's growing more anxious, she's getting more desperate,
Mhm.
she's trying to be more forceful. That's more important than the gun's still waving. Like, don't need it again. And then switching whatever. I guess I could look on my end.
She motioned the gun towards the helm as now.
So instead of if I could talk, she motioned the gun towards the helm. Now she waved at the helm with the gun, which seems like kind of, but you're giving the place first rather than after. So it's just a stronger vibe.
Good quick wave.
Okay, lady, I don't have to do anything to protect my crew. And I don't often do this, but I'm going to do it here for clarity. I'm joining two sentences together. Who's throwing off my shit? I'm at the point. Phrase it at the point.
Yeah.
We're inclined to wait for the authorities, and we know they're arriving. Let's just take that out.
Yeah.
Because nobody would actually say that. I'll do it myself. One person cannot exodus. Okay, so we're going to departure. It happened.
You can depart from.
No, we're gonna say.
So we're changing. Where was that?
Ramp.
Your exodus can happen at one of the ports down below or from the roof. You can leave on the ramp.
Or.
Ken notes that lady is channeling Mao from Firefly. Or that lady line. Sorry.
There we go.
Lady?
So now you can leave on the ramp or from the roof. I like that. It's just a lot clearer than your exodus can happen at one of the ports. It's like how much
well, if you're on a ship, it's not a port either. So that was kind of a problem. And the exit on a ship is not a port. Sorry. But it's not. Okay, now that's who me. Okay. I'm at the point. At the point where I don't feel inclined to wait for the authorities, I'll do it myself.
Rick also is asking, would a ship have a roof? I
don't know how to fix that. Or from the
Corey says roof hatch.
roof hatch, yeah. Except for it's not a roof, it's a hull. I don't know what you
Like-
call it on the inside.
Hmm.
Or from the...
because he's basically threatening to throw her off the top of the ship, right?
Right, correct. You can leave on the
So-
ramp or from the... So let's think of something more exciting than the roof anyway.
Ken says overhead, and Rick says exit on a ship would be the hatchway or maybe the airlock on a spaceship.
Yeah.
Ken throws in the word overhead.
Or from
Okay.
the...
Guys all vote for overhead.
Overhead
Wow.
is the ceiling. Rick says.
From the auxiliary...
See, this is the kind of stuff we come up upon, and we've been cruising along, and now we're stalled for like 20 minutes to an hour, just trying to figure out, is there a roof? What would it be called? How to reword it? Make it kind of clever. You know? Leo Vaccaro says from the weather decks.
I see. This kind of thing takes me forever because I will rewrite this 100 times. We're out.
Rick says upper deck might be considered the roof. Is the roof, he says.
Tossed out the emergency escape hatch. Love that. Reminds
Okay.
me of Lord of the Rings.
You can leave on the ramp or get tossed out the emergency escape hatch. Escape hatch.
I don't know if we need on top of the ship. I mean,
No.
is it really?
Just get it.
I
Don't
mean,
need it.
in the end,
Sure.
do you really need to know it's the roof?
Yeah.
And then we get to that point.
Well, the captain knows where it is. He doesn't need to explain it all.
Okay. How
Doesn't
about
matter to me.
instead of she took a couple small steps away from me, how about she appeared to... No, let's see.
She
Shrank
shuffled
away.
backwards.
She shrank away.
Yeah.
Why did she try to sound stoic? I mean, stoic is not what you want right there. She shrank away from me and said, the dart. What about it? It was poison. Okay.
Honestly, it's more like she blurted out the dart more
Yeah.
than it was poisoned. Because that's calling attention to something desperate that
Mhm.
she's...
She shrank. Let's get rid of that now. She shrank away from me and blurted the dart. What about
Yeah.
it? It was poisoned. Those a rare poison. Homeworld is a compound word. It's a rare poison from my homeworld. A rare poison from my homeworld. We
See, and
only place to get the antidote.
Hmm.
How do we like that?
a lot of what she's done through here is just really strengthening the dialogue itself and taking out a lot of added fluff that you almost think you need, but you don't really need, because a lot of those actions, they're already instilled. We're imagining them as they're speaking, so we don't really need them.
she can't keep waving the gun around.
Yeah.
You want to, and if you stop to describe every little time she waves the gun around or, twitches nervously, you're slowing down the action.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're draining all the tension out of the scene. All the excitement that you're trying to build, you're actually taking it away.
Ellen, what do you think of It's the Only Place to Get?
A rare poison from my home world, and it's the only place to get the antidote.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put an and?
The only place where you can find or
Acquire.
the only place where you can find the antidote.
A rare poison from my home world.
It was poisoned. A rare poison from my home world. It's the only place to acquire the antidote. Purchase. I don't know.
And you can only get the antidote there or something?
Rare poison from my home world. And you can only get the...
You can only find the antidote on my home world? You can only find the antidote there?
Better and better.
Antidote.
Ken says the captain has to lick a special amphibian that only lives on that homeworld to cure him. Yummy.
And that's where we have to go to get the antidote.
Oh, change it again. A rare poison from my homeworld. And that's where we have to go to get the antidote.
There you go. We found it. Go to get. I know Lauren doesn't like get, but sometimes needs a must.
It reminds me of this frog licking thing that is suddenly happening in the chat. It reminds me of one of the Airbender scenes where he has to get frozen frogs to cure Sokka and the other chick's sickness. Anyway, sorry. Totally random.
I like that. Fine. The emergency escape it is. Yeah, that's even better.
It'd almost just be like, fine,
Escape.
emergency escape hatch. Just cut the.
Yeah, the escape hatch it is.
No, I don't. You don't step toward her again because nobody cares and it's not interesting.
Ah.
Okay, we're gonna start a new. Oh no, let me see.
Like here, okay, so she waved the gun.
I would let her. I'm gonna let you have that one. Like I needed to be reminded of it. Lady, you can empty the entire.
Well, I was gonna say instead of wave, like maybe, and I don't know if you want to go this deep, but she double fisted it, like I don't know, just some other.
I'm not inclined to say double fisted anything.
Well, not double fist, but don't write that. But I can't think of what the description.
Maybe what?
Maybe she shook the gun at me.
Oh God, Kaylee.
I didn't mean to actually write that. I'm just trying, where she's holding it like this, and she does that, I don't know. But she waved the gun. And it's fine.
I can't think of anything else. Okay. She raised her arms again, like I needed to be reminded of the gun. How about that?
Yeah.
She straight. Again.
Oh boy, I've got the chat all off topic now.
Sorry about that. Like I needed to be reminded of the gun. Maybe you can empty the entire magazine into my chest and it won't kill me. Poison or no poison?
He's like super captain.
You can say it'll or it will. I don't care either one. It will. No, more than you already have. For the good. Okay, you might as well. They might as well be spitballs. Are those still a thing?
Do what?
Spitballs.
Maybe they had a
Spitballs?
comeback 1,000 years in the future. What else are you going to do on a ship?
Stop.
True.
She held her other hand lower the gun. Cry will blow up the ship. Okay. What I would do is this. This, she said, and then doesn't do anything. Okay. Or I'll blow up the ship. She clicked the switch on the side of the device in her hand. What device in her hand? You can't just imagine a device into her hand.
Yeah, that's the details. Like, probably should have noted that she has an extra
She'll have
device.
to come in. How about she clicked a switch on her belt?
There you go.
I think we're getting into new territory here for our
Yeah,
listeners.
because I don't remember reading that. But that I am glad that she went there, because this is a lot of thing that I find too is I call them oh by the ways. They're small details that come after they should have. And it's almost like you have to do an, oh, by the way, this thing was there the whole time.
Yeah.
You want to make sure to weave that in at the beginning, at the middle, wherever it needs to happen, so that oh, by the way, isn't just sort of like double fisted in there. Sorry, I'll stop.
Well, Corey, I think we did you up right. You want to read it again?
From the clean, yeah. Can you make it another % bigger? Because I'm on my.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
And we'll take out the markup too.
Oh, look how pretty.
All right, so nice and clean. I stared down the barrel of the gun, but I didn't care. I was still fuming over the argument with my uncle. His arrogant and condescending attitude had driven all concerns of self-preservation from me. I said, "Who are you? What are you doing on my bridge?" I took a threatening step toward her. She gave a yelp of surprise and squeezed the trigger. I heard the pneumatic release of compressed air. I looked down to see a 4.5 centimeter dart embedded in my left thigh.
Didn't we take that out?
I don't know. It's still there.
You can't know that it's 4.5 centimeters if it's embedded in his thigh.
And this is why I always do a second pass on my edits to make sure things I thought I did, I actually did do. Okay. I heard the pneumatic release of compressed air. I looked down to see a dart embedded in my left thigh. It pissed me off more than it hurt me. I didn't feel any pain. I reached down and jerked the thing from my leg and flung it across the bridge in her direction. The fact the dart had pierced my thigh bone didn't register. The dart hit the wall with a metallic clang and ricocheted across the floor. You're starting to piss me off, lady. Answer my questions now, or I'll contact the authorities and have you arrested for trespassing, assault, and theft. I reached over to the back of the closest seat and rotated up the console. Gwen, patch us into the local communications network. Inform me when you're ready. Yes, Captain, the ship's AI said. Except for the gun, there wasn't anything threatening about her. Slightly over 1.5 meters tall, with curly brown hair down to her shoulders. She had the stance of someone who'd never held a firearm before. The way she held it, half rotated to the side and in one hand, shouted in experience. Her one-handed grip also indicated it might not be in her dominant hand. Just the hand holding it at the time she decided to use it. Restless, fidgety, and continuously moving, she gave the impression of a nervous cat trapped in a corner. Her hand started shaking, and her aim wavered. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, the woman said in a calm, almost authoritative voice. This should be interesting. Tell me why I don't. I need you to take me to my home planet. No, that's not how it works. If you want to book passage, you come to us, and you state your request. If we're able to accommodate you, we discuss price. But nowhere in the process do you board the ship uninvited, shoot the captain, then order him to do something. Nevertheless, if you want passage, we can start the negotiation process the right way. Warning, there's going to be an extra charge for damage done to my leg and pissing me off, but none of it will happen until you're off my ship. You have to take me. She put more steel in her voice. Do it now. She waved at the helm with the gun. Lady, I don't have to do anything but protect my crew, and that includes throwing you off my ship. I'm at the point where I don't feel inclined to wait for the authorities. I'll do it myself. You can leave on the ramp or get tossed out the emergency escape hatch. Doesn't matter to me. She shrank away from me and blurted, "The dart." What about it? It was poisoned. A rare poison from my homeworld, and that's where we have to go to get the antidote. Do you want me to go there? Okay. Fine. The escape hatch it is. She straightened her arm again, like I needed to be reminded of the gun. Lady, you can empty the entire magazine into my chest, and it won't kill me. Poison or no poison, it will just piss me off more than you already have. They might as well be spitballs. Stop, or I'll blow up the ship. She clicked a switch on her belt, and a row of red lights flickered on. Bom, bom, bom.
Yay.
Yeah, that sounds way smoother.
Agreed.
Whoa.
Whoa, endless. All right.
Excellent.
So we came in a little bit late, and we only have like 9 minutes. I don't know if you have a short one.
I don't know if I have a short one either. Yes, I do. This one right here.
Yay!
And this one's going to be really good. It's actually going to be too short, probably.
And the villagers all rejoiced, singing Willow's song.
Oh, it's by the ways, and as they walk the bridge, all the willows sing. What is she doing?
She's singing clearly.
Oh, okay.
Are we?
That was
what are we
tricky.
doing? Oh, I
don't know which one. I don't know which one you want to do.
You're waiting for me to share.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll find it in my list.
You see it?
Do you see it, Lauren? Because I don't have access to that.
No.
We're trying to get y'all one more. We're trying.
All right.
No.
Leo's cheering for bloopers.
Leo, thanks, Leo. I appreciate it. You're still not getting it?
So let's see.
Now we've got it.
Dragons of Neverwind. Dragons excerpt. Let me see. Click that open. Yes, it is.
Is this a Christie special?
It is.
I feel like okay, good.
Where'd you go?
I knew the name Neverwind from somewhere.
Stop it, computer. Just open it. Okay. All right. So, do you want me to just do like the first?
There's only like half a page.
Okay, I'm seeing 2 spaces before the sentences, and I know editors kind of disagree on this, and that's often a stylistic choice to have 2 spaces before the sentences. But editors, really quick tip: if you want to get rid of that quickly, you can go to Word, find and replace, and hit in 2 spaces and replace it with 1 space, and it does it immediately.
Yep.
No special program needed.
I also do that with the quotes and the apostrophes in case they're straight quotes. You want them to be curly. So
yeah,
that's all stuff that I do. You definitely want to do before you turn on the track, because it will like instantly crash Word if you do that with track on. All right. The Dragons of Neverwind. I know what you're thinking. You think Nath is an orc. Nath? Is it silent? I don't know.
Yeah.
You think Nath is an ogre. Heavens no. He ain't no ogre. Just because all 4 feet and 3 inches of me is overshadowed by his 7-foot-something frame and massive girth, don't mean he's a damn ogre. Half ogre, on his mother's side. Now, for those of you following along in my manuscript, Ganath is pronounced with a hard G. Thank you, manuscript, for telling me. Like Ganath. But not so hard. An easier G. So it's more like Ganath, but no apostrophe. I think you got it. Ganath. I'm Wellington. I'm short, but I'm crafty. Some comment on my oversized head and think I'm a pixie or something, but no. I am simply a freak of nature. Half elf, half human on my father's side, but all guts and glory. That would be me. Tough as nails, old Wellington is, except in a fight. I leave those up to Ganath. So, what are we going to do in the woods on this hot midday in the spring? Good question, dear reader. I will try to explain. It started 2 days ago when I and Ganath were visiting the small burg Hamilberry Commons, a lovely little mining town stinking of oxidized ferric metal and money. Bless the deities, I love money. But I am doomed to never get too much. Just my luck. Or rather, The luck of the amulet of chance I am cursed with. I found it, shining bright in a black alley several towns back after drinking most of our money away. I and Ganath were looking for a place to piss at the time. Anyway, the dead body whose neck it was looped around didn't seem to mind me taking it. In its defense, it is a very pretty amulet. The bluish gem in the center seems to glow in just the right light amidst its shiny gold setting. At first, I figured it was just costume jewelry, but upon further inspection it appeared that it was in fact a solid gem of some sort. Not a diamond, but something. And then I saw the inscription on the back. And when I did, I realized this bauble was cursed. Or blessed. I have still yet to figure it out. Till death do us part, the bearer of this amulet will have luck in the games of chance. Be warned. Gain only what you need and nothing more, or your chance will run out. Well, I have to tell you, my friends, that didn't sound fun at all. I quickly put the necklace back around the neck of the poor deadling lying on the alley floor, and Ganath and I walked away. Within seconds, I felt the amulet hanging around my neck. I don't mind telling you I was spooked. It was not a good feeling. I quickly pulled it off of my neck and tossed it aside as we left the alley. Again, it was around my neck in seconds. Damn magic. So he's fun.
This is terrific.
He's fun to read.
Yeah. She's all fourth, blah, 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 blah. Have over on his mother's side. Now, for those of you following along in my manuscript, blah, 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 but no apostrophe. Okay. Well, I'm short. See, I'm cruising right through this. Some comment on my oversized head. Think I'm a pixie or something? No. Half elf.
Yeah. This thing is dripping, like absolutely soaked in character.
Yeah.
And like I could just drop into this just sort of like fun storytelling, kind of tongue-in-cheek, rough and tumble dude.
If you're going to break that fourth wall and talk right to the reader, doing it from page one is an excellent way to do it.
Yeah. To fight. I leave those up to Ganath. I love that. That's hilarious. So what are we doing on this? In the woods on this hot midday in the spring. Spring is not a compound word, or it's not a proper noun. Sorry. Except for
capitalized here, we are decapitalizing.
We are decapitalizing it just because. It started 2 days ago when I and Ganath, I love that, we're visiting the small burg of Hamilberry Commons, a lovely little mining town, blah, blah, blah. Deities is not.
I really liked that line. Bless the deities, I love money.
Yeah. Rather, the luck of the amulet of chance. And this is not a proper noun.
Doesn't need to be italicized.
No. Well, it doesn't need to be capitalized either.
No.
See, those sorts of things, it's
depend on
it
genre. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, yes, with fantasy, but things like spring still are not.
Well, no, spring deities, that's fine, but the amulet of chance, like that's kind of like the Holy Grail. That would be capitalized, wouldn't it? Holy Grail.
It would. The Holy Grail.
So that's kind of how I see these sorts of things in this genre, and
not italicized though.
Not italicized though, but kept with the capitals.
And if it's lit RPG, that sort of thing often would.
It would definitely be capitalized.
But this seems like it's fantasy, so it's like.
As you're breaking the fourth wall and this like direct narration, you need to mind your contractions. Found it shining bright in a black alley several towns back after drinking most of our money away. I and Ganath were looking for a place to piss at the time. Anyway, didn't seem to mind me taking it. In its defense, it is a very pretty amulet.
Maybe in my defense, because he stole it off the corpse.
Well, it's almost like
because it didn't mind. Well,
because the way that I was in my head internalizing it, this amulet almost has a life of its own. So it's like it's cursed. It keeps screwing with me. But in its defense,
it's
pretty. Very pretty.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. Thank you, Kitty.
Yeah.
The gem in the center seems to glow in just the right width. Just the right light. Okay, it cannot be amidst one thing.
Yeah.
Amidst means in the middle of. You can't be in the middle of one thing. It's multiple things. First, I figured it was costume jewelry, but upon further inspection, it appeared that it was, in fact,
Yes,
It's
I
like-
paused it
Yeah.
there. Were you gonna put
not a
comment?
diamond, but something. And then I saw the inscription on the back, and when I did, I realized this bauble was cursed or blessed. Be warned, you get only what you need and nothing more, or your chance will run out. Well, I have to tell you, my friends, that didn't sound fun at all. I quickly put the necklace back around the neck of the poor deadling, and I and Ganath,
I comes last, right? Gnath and I. Or Gnath and me, if you want to be like
Look, look.
folksy about it.
look,
think
Yeah, I
it's-
know. That's
the way
not right.
it's a consistent turn
I'd
of
still flip
speech for like that person.
personally.
all right, and that's that. That's all that I would do there, Christy.
Boom.
Hmm.
So this is the kind of editing you can get when you bring something that is clean. You know, it doesn't have the we walked, we looked, we turned. It doesn't have, and granted, it's a first person, so it has a little bit different treatment.
Mhm.
But yeah, like this is just really fun. Well done. I'm
Nobody's,
good.
nobody's,
was
breathing, nobody's hearts are beating. Nobody's pausing or hesitating
Yep.
or and like standing, looking.
All
There's
that's
no,
left
oh,
is
by
the
the
fun
way.
step.
It's moving right along.
Yeah.
Everybody, close your eyes.
All right. Willow has a challenge for you. I dare Ellen to arise from her chair with her
No.
tiny sword and say, "It's time to edit."
I
suppose I
no.
did it for you.
Tell Willow I'm not wearing any pants.
No, yeah. She's an editor attire, so she can't.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any pants, Willow. So, and I don't have a tiny sword.
How do you not have a tiny sword?
Kayleen, you
fine,
have
but-
something
I
to
am
wave.
packed to move. All my whole life is
I
packed.
I mean, I have this. It's not
What
a
does she
tiny
have,
sword,
guys? What does she have?
but it's this that I keep on the bed.
Ooh, a pink katana.
That's not a little sword.
I know I said it's not a little tiny sword. But
Like I could go get a gun and wave it around if you wanted, Corey.
Kayleen,
She just did.
I did. I narrated it for you. All right. Okay, well, this was fun. I hope y'all out there enjoy it. We really enjoy doing these. It keeps us as editors on our toes.
Mhm.
Because like doing these live, we're usually like by ourselves and we can sit here and just like think to ourselves for a little bit, you know, chat with amongst ourselves and be like, so guys. But it's a little different having to do it on our toes live. And y'all seem to be getting something out of it, so we'll continue to do them. So continue to send Ellen to the place that she will shortly say samples of 500 words. 500 words. 500. 500. And I'm making a point on that because we keep getting sent
5,000.
5,000 words, you know, several pages worth. So yeah. And there goes my bird. So for Lauren Moore.
Too sweet.
No. Sorry. For Lauren Moore and Ellen the Cutter Campbell, I am Kayleen Williams. Thank you for joining us on The Writer's Journey. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, ding the little bell, like us, do all that good stuff, join our Facebook group, all the good things. We'll be sure to see you next week for more reading, writing, and everything in between, right here on Keystroke Mediums, The Writer's Journey.